There we go. So MLM Recruiting, I show this. This is a Google snapshot. When you go out and you Google MLM Recruiting, I come up at the top of the page. And that's kind of crazy. So I'm not going to say I'm an expert in MLM Recruiting, but Google thinks I am. So I'm not going to argue with Google. Now, here's how that works. This sounds crazy. You'd think that'd be the hardest thing in the world to do, to get on the front page of Google. The truth is, it's pretty simple. All you got to do is find somebody else that's already done it and copy what they do. And that's the same thing in network marketing. Would everybody agree? You find somebody else who's had success and you copy what they do. I've heard, thank you, buddy. I've heard that it's okay to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. Who's heard that? Here we're moving now. A.O. Williams, who founded the A.O. Williams Insurance Company, one of the most successful insurance companies, most successful network marketing companies of all time. Today it's known as Primerica. It is a multiple billion-dollar annual business. He did what we're going to do. He started from scratch by himself and built a multi-billion-dollar annual business. A.O. Williams said, you're going to beat half the people in this industry just by showing up. So everybody, pat yourselves on the back. You're ahead of half the people because you showed up today. You could have been doing anything else in the world. It's a beautiful day. The summer's almost over. I'm tickled to death that you're here. So you're ahead of half the people because you're here. You're going to beat another 40% of the people by having integrity. So if you're here in the audience today and you operate your business with integrity, you're already ahead of 90% of the people. So that's the good news. Here's the bad news. Mr. Williams said that last 10% is a dogfight in the private enterprise system, which is exactly the way it should be. Right? Who agrees with that?
Yep.
Who agrees we ought to work for what we get?
Yep.
See hands going up.
Yep.
Here's the even better news, though. Today, everybody on this stage has gotten to the top 1% of this profession. Everybody that's going to speak to you has done what it takes to get there. And what we're going to do today is impart that wisdom and knowledge that we've collected to help you guys do the same thing. Who's excited about that?
Yep.
I'm going to cover two key points. The first is, who do we talk to? And the second one is, how many is enough? And again, this is going to be my philosophy. I'm not going to say it's 100% right, 100% wrong, but it's what's worked for me. There's two ends of the spectrum. Two ends of the spectrum when we talk about who to talk to. The first is that you could 100% focus on gathering customers. We have life-changing products. If you go out and share this product with everybody you know that needs it, you will gather customers and you will slowly build a business. And the other choice is to seek out business builders. So you could go 100% one way or 100% the other or somewhere in the middle. My philosophy is to seek builders. Our objective as a business is to build the largest distribution network for these products. And the fastest way to do that is you go out and find business builders who will find other business builders. Who agrees with that? Yeah. All right. And you don't have to. That's okay. If you don't agree, maybe I'm going to share some points over the next few minutes that maybe will influence your mind and make you think a little bit. If you want as many people as possible to get these products in their hands, you build the biggest network. Here's some reasons I'm going to give you. The first is, everybody's going to share this product with those that they love. No matter what, you're going to share it with your mother, your sister, your brother, your cousins, everybody you know who needs these products, you're going to share it with them, correct? Mm-hmm. The way to make sure everybody's mother, sister, brother, cousin who needs this gets this product is to go out and find business builders who will find more business builders that everybody's going to share with who they love. Agreed?
Yep, sir.
Here's another reason that I go out seeking business builders. A business builder who says no to the business makes the best customer. Imagine, if you will, that you had a chance to prospect Robbie Davis. Who would like to do that? Who would like to get in a time machine, go back 5.5 years ago and prospect Robbie Davis? Imagine you share this information with Robbie Davis. Robbie Davis says, I don't have time, buddy. I've got 2 kids playing every sport in the world. I'm coaching cross country. I'm coaching Little League. I've got an insurance business, a real estate business. And that's what happened, right? 5.5 years ago. But Robbie says, hey, I would like to try this product. I might need to lose a few pounds, and my boys play sports. I'd like for them to try it. What do you say? You say, great. You'd love to get Robbie Davis taking the product. Because what happens in 3 weeks? You get a phone call from Robbie Davis. Who's had this phone call? Robbie Davis, Mona Lisa, Rick Say raises his hand, Mona Lisa. The phone call that says, I don't know what this stuff is, but it works. I've lost 10 pounds in the last 3 weeks, and now I've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people that want to try it. Who's had that phone call? You see, when you approach somebody who's a center of influence like Robbie Davis, and they become a customer, they're the best customer to have, because there's a really good chance that down the road, we Chip Buck talked last week, he's a double diamond. He was the most skeptical person in the world, and he started out as a product user. How would you like to have a customer that turns into a double diamond? Who'd like that?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
We trip over customers looking for business builders. Just the very nature of being out doing this business, people will find us. If you're out building a business, you're speaking with people that have centers of influence in the community, people will find you. They'll find out you've got a product that works, and they'll chase you down. You will trip over them. You never have to actively gather customers. They'll come to you. Here's another point. Builders lead you to other builders. Say I go to Robbie Davis, and Robbie Davis tells me no. The reality of this business is probably 70 to 80% of people will tell you no at first. Is that fair enough? 70 to 80% of people initially are going to say, I don't have time. What's the first question you ask? Hey, listen, that's great. Who do you know? Robbie Davis, who do you know that would be good at this business? And Robbie says, hey, I got a buddy named John. He's in the real estate business. He's done a couple of these things. He'd be perfect. Let me ask you this. Would you rather go to John's office and say, hey, John, I don't know you, but I've got something really exciting to share with you? Or would you rather say, hey, John, your buddy Robbie Davis said you would be perfect at this? What's the better intro?
Second.
All right. Activity equals results. How many people have heard that? How many people sometimes wonder, what does that mean? You know, how much activity? What do I do? If you don't write anything else down today, if you've got a pen and paper, write down this phrase and sear it in your mind. Amateurs try to convince, professionals sort. Amateurs try to convince, professionals sort. Because I'm going to give you some concrete numbers that will work if you want to grow a huge business at ZJ International. You want to add 40 people a month to your funnel. And here's what I mean by put them in your funnel. I don't mean just you mention it to 40 people. I'm going to tell them myself, when I first started, I did a lot of it. Hey, I got this thing I'm doing, it's pretty cool. I've lost a few pounds. And if they didn't immediately, jump out at me and sign up, I never followed up with them. So when I talk about put them in the funnel, I'm talking about you share this information, you follow up with them, you get their questions answered, and you ask them to join. And Rick Study's going to cover that a little more later, but that's what you do. You put them through the whole process. Here's what will happen. You are sorting. You're not convincing anybody. You're not twisting their arm. You're sorting through numbers. 40 people a month, 3 to 6 of them are going to fall out that funnel. And they're going to raise their hand and say, yeah, I want to do this. Here's what most people do. Probably everybody in the room has been guilty of this at some time. Most people, instead of talking to 40, they pick out 3 to 6 people. I think is it Eric Worre that talks about the lottery ticket that's a scratch off? You got 6 boxes you scratch off, and if none of them win, you just throw it away and you're done. That's kind of the way a lot of us treat their marketing business. So you pick 3 to 6 people and you say, I know they're going to make me rich. They're going to do this, I know they are. So you spend the first month, I get some laughs, yeah. You spend that first month wearing them out. You got to do it with me. You got to do this with me. You got to do this with me. All right. 2 of them, your brother and your cousin, finally say, okay, I'll do it. So they give you $200, $300, $600, whatever it is. They get started. But they didn't get started because they didn't want to do it anyway, right? You twisted their arm. What happens the second month? You spend the second month twisting their arm again. Well, they say a man convinced against his will is unconvinced still, right? So you spend that second month saying, you got to do something. You got to go get your 2. Well, they quit answering the phone. They quit taking your text. At the end of the second month, what do you say? This business doesn't work. Right? Who has had who has had somebody in your downline that happened to them? Okay. Here's a question. This is for everybody to just ask themselves. Does 40 a month sound like a lot to you? And if it does, break it down like this. That's only 2 prospects a day, 5 days a week. So ask yourself, how much time a day does it take you to share this with 2 people? And to share it with them, follow up with them, ask them to join. Could be 30 minutes some days, could be an hour, could be 2 hours. So that's my question. Are you willing to commit 5 to 10 hours a week consistently over time to build this business? Because that's what it's all about. It's not just action equals results. It's working through the numbers and taking consistent action that produces results. Here's real results. This is what will happen. And I can show you my business, other people's businesses that have blown up. There are people that have done a whole lot more than this faster. There was a young lady that spoke at Crossville last week. I'd say she took even more action than this. She was gold in 7 weeks, Tara Myers. She was gold in 7 weeks. Within 11 weeks, she was BINS qualified, which means she was gold every week within 11 weeks. This is more an average of what will happen. You follow this 40 per month formula for the next 90 days, you're going to personally recruit 9 to 18 people. You'll have 3 to 6 people every month that are going to fall out of that funnel every month. So you're going to enroll 9 to 18 people. Who knows what kind of business pay plan we've got? We've got a hybrid binary, right? What does that mean? We've got a left team and a right team. But what happens when you're out recruiting? You got to put those people somewhere, right? What happens to the people under you? What happens? They get excited. They get excited because there's activity. You know what else they do? They watch what you're doing, and they see you out recruiting and growing, and they learn from you. So here's what happens. 90 days go by, you're going to have a team. I don't care if you start from scratch today. You're going to have a team of 50 to 100 people or more that are excited, that are rank advancing, that are making money. You're going to have a great group. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, because I've been in your shoes. I promise you. Some of you are thinking, if only. Chip Buck told a story earlier about a lady who had been in the business for 2 years. She finally decided to launch her business, and she had 18 guests at her launch. Is that right? Some of you are thinking, I've been in this for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. If only I had done this from the beginning, but it's too late for me. So I'm going to share a little bit of my story because I hope it will be something that will help you. I got started in ZJ International in the summer of 2009. I followed this system for the first 3 or 4 months and was able to go bronze with some help from some good upline leaders. Then I took my foot off the gas. So if you're sitting here today, you may be in that boat. You may have had a stretch where you worked hard and you took your foot off the gas. 13 months into the business, I've been involved for 13 months, and I had a week where I had 0 volume on my pay leg. I don't mean I just didn't get a check. I mean there was no volume. I had one leg that was 3,000 or 4,000, and one had gotten all the way down to 0. And so it was decision time. It was either throw the boxes away, pretend like I don't have a business, or go to work. So for me personally, at that time, I made a decision to go to work. With the help of guys like Robbie Davis and Rick Staley, I was able to go out and take massive action. I want to share with you that within 90 days, that was a gold business, just by following this formula. Within another 90 days, that pay leg that had been 0 was 25,000. So that happened in a course of 6 months. And I'm not saying it to brag on myself because it's not about me. I did not do anything special. All I did was decide to take action, share it with people, and was able to attract some really quality people that I was able to help a little bit. And I just got the ball rolling and followed this system. Does everybody get that? Everybody in this room has got that power to do the exact same thing right now today. And just like I had the help of guys like Robbie and Rick, you guys have got the help of this whole team, all the leadership. We'll all be there for you because everybody likes the excitement. When you're out building and growing, you will attract people to you. I'm going to copy Chip Buck all day. He's gone. He doesn't know. But when he set yourself on fire, people will come from miles around to watch you burn, right? But that's it. If you want help, I think I put on Facebook the other day, if you want to get fed, go out and work up an appetite. People will feed you. People will help you. So remember this. Again, this is the key to the whole deal. Amateurs try to convince, professionals sort. You want to fill your funnel with at least 2 new prospects every day for the next 90 days. If you'll make a commitment to doing that, I promise you, you're going to have a tremendous business 90 days from now. That's all I've got for my portion, but the next